You know, I haven't said the word civil war in a hot minute, but I was looking at the news. I was looking at the story. We put up the segment at 3 about Democrats obstructing the floor. We have more obstructions in Congress than we've ever seen. We have more threats of violence than we've ever seen. Elon Musk, as a government employee, is getting death threats, and people are shooting up and trying to plant bombs at Tesla facilities. We got a couple new reports that Tesla charging stations are getting vandalized, and several have been intentionally set ablaze. Not to mention that Donald Trump, in his run for the presidency, was nearly assassinated, and there were a couple other plots that nearly were enacted, with one Ukrainian zealot, one American who was a zealot for Ukraine, almost killing Trump, but being spotted by Secret Service. We have this story from the New York Post. Troll arrested for threatening to gut Elon Musk and parade his corpse through the streets. It's from over a week ago. And then we have this story from CBS News. Massachusetts Tesla charging stations intentionally set on fire, investigators believe, from a couple days ago. It's getting worse. And, I was thinking about this because we've seen numerous stories of they shot up a Tesla location, shot it up. There was an individual, a trans person, who was arrested for trying to plant bombs at a location. You had that individual a couple years ago posting the location of Elon's private jet. We are beyond civil strife. Now, we can say we're in some kind of civil war, but I think it's always the forest and the trees, as they say. I like to go back to the American Civil War the first time with Bleeding Kansas. Periods of civil strife are the precursor to civil war. And that is when there is widespread violence, vandalism, for political reasons. We had a Rudyard Lynch from What If Alt History on Timcast IRL. He predicted 1,000 would be dead by April. It's only 3 weeks away. I don't think it's going to happen. That being said, we are seeing a dramatic escalation in threats of violence, death threats, and extreme vandalism. And this means it's crazy stuff. There have been numerous reports that Tesla vehicle owners have had their cars vandalized. They've parked their cars in certain areas and they come out and people have keyed it up, spray painted it, saying F Elon and things like this. Others have been putting stickers or magnets on their cars saying, I bought it before Elon went crazy. It's because these people live in a terroristic hell zone. When you are surrounded in an urban environment by terrorists threatening you, you have to put up signs saying, please don't hurt me. They do it in Oakland, California. They don't do it in West Virginia because we all have guns. And anybody who tries to commit acts of terror, well, people here defend themselves. But the news is pretty crazy. Take a look at this. Massachusetts Tesla charging stations intentionally set on fire, from CBS News. They say at this point, it does appear that it was a set fire. It happened around Monday at 1 a.m. The Point Shopping Center on Constitution Ave in Littleton. The charging stations are located close to several businesses, including the tavern and the Square restaurant and a Market Basket grocery store. What we are seeing now is acts of terrorism. I think any sane person can recognize this. Mass vandalism against electric vehicles? Thought these people were concerned about climate change. No, they're cult members. And Elon Musk, it doesn't matter if he's saving the environment. They're cult members. He's not. The Littleton Police Department said the charging stations were engulfed in flames with heavy dark smoke when they arrived. Power was eventually shut down in the area, but while crews were waiting for our electric department to arrive, another charging station caught fire. The electricity is one of our bigger issues that we're dealing with in making sure that not only the public but the firefighters are safe. Littleton Police and Fire Departments in Massachusetts State Fire and Explosive Investigation Unit attached to the state fire marshal's office are investigating and have determined that the fire appears to be intentionally set. This is crazy. Look at this. Destroying charging locations. Tesla products have been the targets of vandalism in recent weeks in several states. Tesla CEO Elon Musk endorsed Trump. We get it. It's not going to make any difference to Elon Musk. You're only harming society. You're only harming the people who actually use these charging stations, said Tesla driver Zahir Calvert. Someone could have got hurt, right? Someone could have got burned. Someone could have died. That's what is the real problem. A Massachusetts man told WBZ-TV he had been threatened because he drives a gold Cybertruck made by Tesla. Someone put a profane sticker on his vehicle. And when he posted a photo of it on social media, the man told the police he started getting threats online. Over the weekend in Maryland, graffiti was found at a Tesla dealership a day after nearly 300 protesters gathered outside the business to protest Musk and his push to slash government spending. Police said the graffiti said "No Musk" with a sign that resembles a swastika. In northern Colorado last month, police arrested a suspect who had been wanted for allegedly placing incendiary devices at a Tesla dealership. That investigation began in January when the dealership was vandalized and devices were found on the scene. It's only getting worse. This story from Vernon Morning Star. Someone deliberately ruined Tesla charging station in Soyuz. Is that how you pronounce it? Soyuz? Is that how you pronounce it? They put spray foam in the Tesla chargers so that nobody could use them. We know what this is about. Democrats are increasingly embracing violence, and don't take it from me. Adam Conover was on a podcast, I'm assuming it's his, where he spoke with this woman who said this.
A lot of women who had basically knitted these, they did the same pussy design in red, white, and blue. And they're like, this is American. Resistance is American. And I was like, you know what, ladies? I love it, right? So that was great to see. But what I also asked these people, and these are like, your middle-aged, engaged people, most of them, and highly educated. And I asked them, this question that we adapted from a national survey. And the question was, to what degree do you agree or disagree with his statement that political violence may be necessary to protect democracy? And a third of the people at the People's March said they agreed or strongly agreed with that statement, which is a huge shift from what we have seen. Back during the American Values Survey, the last time they fielded it, was only 8% of Democrats. And let me just say, at the People's March, it was 93% of the people in the crowds voted for Kamala Harris. So these are Democrats.
Yeah.
And they are starting to shift their opinion. So that's the thing I'm worried about. But I'm not saying we have enough people in the streets right now. I'm saying there are enough people who are starting to feel threatened that they're going to push back. A lot of women who had basically knitted these.
They feel threatened. A third of the people at the People's March said they agreed that they should use violence to, quote unquote, protect democracy. And they're supporting all of this. Do you think any one of these people are going to shed a tear if something bad happens to Elon Musk? Of course they won't. Or Donald Trump. These people were going online and celebrating Luigi Mangione, the suspect in the United Healthcare CEO assassination. They're going online and advocating for assassination. One woman said that she wanted bad things. I'm keeping it very light, but she threatened the life of Elon Musk, and she may get a visit from the federal investigators. They're not going to stop. And I get it. I do. They're a cult. Their ideas are bad, and they are losing. We are rational moderates. Some lean left, some lean right. Some are much more staunch conservative. Some are actually a little bit liberal, like RFK Jr. or Tulsi Gabbard. So we have a coalition of reason and differing views, and they have a cult that is losing. But I get it. Their worldview is being destroyed because it's busted, and there's nothing left for them. Their arguments have failed. So what happens when your words don't work? They now begin to advocate for violence, physical attacks, physical disruptions, and they're doing it. Burning down Tesla stations, trying to plant bombs at dealerships, shooting up Tesla dealerships. These are just car dealerships. And as we read, one man saying he received threats for simply driving a Cybertruck. This is going to get worse. And this is the concern that we had. So maybe Rudyard was a little bit too far on one end in his prediction for 1,000 deaths. I think there's like 40 or 50 politically motivated deaths in the past 4 months, which is kind of crazy. But that is kind of a stretch. Directly motivated political killings in the streets are like maybe 20, which is still kind of crazy, right? Nowhere near 1,000. But I wonder, how will Donald Trump and the federal government get a handle on this? You've got that breaking news at the top of this article that says Trump is expected to sign an executive order abolishing the Department of Education. These people are nuts. They're going to keep escalating, and the violence will get worse. So where does it leave us? Man, I hope y'all are prepared. You know, I've been warning about some kind of civil war for a while. You have Ray Dalio. You have many other prominent individuals warning that right now we're in some kind of civil war. I think the issue is that we are in civil strife, but many people see these as the same thing in that it's the early stages of a civil war. Not all civil strife becomes war. The civil rights movement was civil strife, no civil war. Bleeding Kansas was civil strife, and then we got civil war. So I'm curious to see what happens because Trump ain't stopping here. He's going to gut the DOE. He's going to gut the Federal Reserve. He's going to fire people from the VA, from the IRS. He is gutting the bureaucratic state. These people aren't sitting by. They're angry for no legitimate reason. Makes no sense. But I do think a lot of these people that are engaging in violence don't care about Doge, don't care about Elon, don't care about Trump. No matter what the U.S. government does is bad. And they're exploiting the insanity among Democrats for their justification. Democrats recently obstructed a congressional proceeding, singing songs, refusing to come to order. And did Mike Johnson do anything? He recessed. Did he call the sergeant at arms of the police to remove the protesters? Nope. Why not? Well, there's no balls. And because of this, Democrats will keep escalating. We'll see. I'm going to wrap it up there. Tune in to Timcast IRL tonight. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all then.